My co-caster with me, Trickanol, is a Zerg. Am I hearing that correctly?
Yep. Yes, I am a Zerg. The least honorable, most dirty, worst race on the planet.
I mean, just typified by their bug-like behavior.
I do love some Zerg, though, and I'm really looking forward to this match on Overgrowth. And our first player, the aforementioned Terran, playing in pink for Team All Inspiration, it is Canary.
Down.
Don't know.
Unfortunately, we don't have the player intros for you today, but you do get half of that lovely casting voice coming from your boy Tyrannus. And so in the top right, spawning on Overgrowth, he is hailing from the sunny coast of Spain, your yellow Zerg, El CapitanMartu.
Olé! I believe our players opened things up. CapitanMartu opened up with a hatch first and is now getting pretty standard. I think it's a 15 hatch, 16 pool into gas. And yeah, no, go on.
We got a little bit of intel on this Canary guy. Apparently, he likes to play a little funky.
Oh yeah.
I'm not positive, but I'm just guessing because last season he made it to the semifinals. And someone named Saber might have beaten him out of that. But he looks to be going actually into a bit of a 1-1-1, and he is starting his factory as opposed to doing like a Reaper into CC first type build.
Yeah, there is that Reaper across the map annoying CapitanMartu, but I don't think he actually lost. Oh, he's lost one drone, presumably to the Reaper, but looks to have chased it off. Other than that, for now.
Yeah, if you get anything off of that Reaper besides scouting information, like that's already a bit of a win in my book as a Terran player anyway.
Yeah, definitely. You might expect it to maybe get like a Ling or maybe two, but to get a drone at all is pretty nice. Wow, really fast armory out of Canary. Looks like we're going to be seeing some very, very fast Hellbats, I guess.
Yeah, and if you look at the side of the map, we kind of missed it a little bit. Canary does have a nice little barracks going down there, and he threw it out a tech lab. So is he going to get... I mean, this is the crazy sort of shit that we heard that he kind of goes for.
Yeah.
And he's going to instantly start putting Marauders out of it, and I bet you he's going to research concussive shells on that.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a guess.
Yeah, we can't really know what he will be doing, because as I said, he is pretty crazy, but he's got some gas. He could spend it on concussive shells. CapitanMartu, luckily for him, has actually already got a Roach Warren. So the Roaches... He'll have the Roaches to deal with the Hellbats. But of course, that's what the Marauders are there for. So all the guns about sort of dance between who can focus fire down what in the right order. But I think CapitanMartu is actually just trying to save up Roaches for a big bust. And because of how many units he'll be producing, it should deal pretty well with the Hellbat Marauder all in from Canary. But I don't know. CapitanMartu is moving across the map now.
Yeah, and I actually this out of place barracks has kind of come to bite him in the ass a little bit because he's trying to. I mean, I'm presuming he's trying to hide tech. A fancy shenanigan-y little thing to do, and but now his Marauders are way over there on the other side of the map, and he's got this force back home to deal with, and it's just Hellions and Marines, and get him on the high ground, but still those don't necessarily trade too well, and he's gonna see the Lings, and now he's about to see the Roaches, and we're gonna see what the reaction's looking like. Has he seen the Roaches yet?
I don't think. Yeah, no, he has seen the Roaches because he had a Hellion on the watchtower, but right now the game's coming. CapitanMartu can. Actually, he doesn't even need to step his Roaches back from the Hellbats. All the SCVs coming off the line from Canary. And CapitanMartu is trading his Roaches very, very nicely, killing off a lot of SCVs. And now he starts to step back, can really, really stop those SCVs from getting around, getting any kind of damage down. Stop the Hellbats doing any kind of damage.
He's just going to produce a bunch of Lings to follow this up. And it's like the Marauders are now joining in on the fight. But a lot of SCVs were pulled to make this kind of work. And I mean, are they there to repair the Hellbats? But this is kind of a gimmicky little push from Canary, and now he's got a bit of a supply lead actually. So I mean, Hellions and Marauders do decent against Lings and Roaches, but I mean, he's pushing on here. How do you see this going out? I don't know. He might be able to make this work.
He might very well. He's still got 4 Hellbats left in this push, which means that they're going to absolutely annihilate any Lings that
any sort of Lings are going to just barbecue.
Certainly, he hasn't got that many. He's only got 23 Lings, and I reckon like the 4 Hellbats with a little bit of... He can repair those Hellbats as well with their SCVs, let's not forget. So 5 Hellbats now as well, and he could morph in the 6th one with his Hellion. And yeah, these Lings are just going to get absolutely roasted away.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Not even a single Hellbat goes down.
Good. Lings, don't do that. Don't do that, Lings. And I mean, he's pressuring the second, and this is going to go down, and he's going to be able to come right up the main ramp. The SCV is on constant repair. He's got the minerals to afford it. I mean, more roaches are on the way, but this is looking really dangerous. Now he's going to have to pull the drones, and that's not a great thing to do against Hellbats. Hellbats going to town on it. And this is looking about as GG as it gets in the 9-minute 55 mark for Canary.
Yeah, 8 workers. GG is thrown down, and yeah, Canary takes a very, very fast.
Okay, we're going to speed in these introductions because we've got some crazy proxy racks coming in out of our Terran player. So spawning in the bottom left, he is representing Team All Inspiration. He is your pink Terran player, Canary.
And his opponent, having already scouted the 8-8 from his opponent, it is the yellows CapitanMartu.
And CapitanMartu is going to go ahead and scout that 888. Canary's calling it in the chat. He says, well, that's awfully rude. If you look back at what Canary's done, he had a gas going up and he canceled it. He was looking to take this 2-0 pretty quickly. The response from Martu, well, an earlier spawning pool than I might originally have, and the response from Canary, he's getting his SCVs up and maybe going to go into a standard bit of a build or maybe like a CC first to completely reverse the early scout. We'll see.
Yeah, but Canary's going to be really behind off this. We can already see this reflection in the work count. 11 workers to 16 for CapitanMartu. And yeah, CapitanMartu, he scouts around a lot for proxies and overgrowth. That's something I noticed him doing. Obviously,
he did do that. Yeah, I saw
Canary's reputation. So yeah, you're right. CC first came out with Canary, and CapitanMartu's gone for that hatch after the pool just to make sure he was definitely safe in case Canary did continue to commit.
Yeah, I was running through what Canary could be doing right now, and it's like, well, if I go into the standard play, I know I will absolutely be behind. And so he's going to go ahead and have to say, like, I've got to do something crazy to catch up. I have to make a play. So the only risk he can actually take right now, he's got, like, 2 choices. CC first, or I can, like, SDV pool. So obviously CC first is going to be the response for him.
Yeah, I like it. Terran, it's something Terran is very capable of doing, is being incredibly greedy behind cheese, because they can just throw down, like, 2 CCs inside their base. And as a Zerg, if you come up and try and stop them, then they've just got a wall in at the front, and you have to make Banelink to bust through it. Or
you sound a little like you're a little upset that we're capable of doing that.
I'm so salty. I'm so salty.
Oh, the salt is real. Yeah, so this game is going to probably shape up into a 2-base all-in from Canary, because his one of his teammates. I'm trying to think of who he was. I'll remember later. He's one of the other All Inspirations in this group, in this group actually, or not in this group, rather in the Challenger League. Was doing some crazy 2-base all-ins as a Protoss player, and he just did not shy away from it. Like, he just kept going hard at it. I don't know if he qualified. I'll have to check in on that, but like, chances are he's going to go for some 2-base all-inage.
Yeah, I'd say the chance is fairly good. I mean, there's not that much that's crazy funky that you can do once you get up to that really, really late game macro stage. It's definitely, like, for the players like Canary who have such unique styles, their strength is in making their opponents really, really uncomfortable in the early and mid game.
Yeah, what are you going to do when I show you, my hand, and it's something you've never seen before at this time? So definitely, looking to gain that advantage back again. And CapitanMartu looking to play a little standard. He's getting out his ling speed is really close to being done, and so maybe we'll see some lings out on the map sooner than later. Maybe going to see if he can go capitalize on some early pressure himself to counter it. And coming from Canary, just getting his factory, laying down a bunker at the foot of his natural, and going to be scouted here by CapitanMartu's Overlord.
Yeah, Canary playing really pretty greedy. He's only got the 1 Marine for defense, so if CapitanMartu does decide to go for basically any kind of units to push in, the only thing Canary will have to deal with it will be 1 Marine at the minute. Do
you think that Marine's mom knows that he's the only guy at his base?
He sends her letters home and is like, there's tons of people. I'm having such a good time. Definitely very safe. No way the Zerg could just send in like 3 lings and kill me. I'm 100% safe.
You think she believes him, or she knows? She knows that he's been sent to this.
I reckon she knows, but she goes along with it to make sure.
And then we're going to see a 3rd CC at the foot of the natural here, part of the wall. So he's not going for a 2-base all-in. I was absolutely wrong about that. But I think what is the old saying, the cheesiest thing a cheesy player can do
is macro.
Is go on in macro.
Yeah, and I think Daybreak's a pretty good map to do it on for Terran. It's quite difficult to take a 4th base as Zerg on this map. Either you take it up in the backward location, which is very, very difficult to spread creep to, or you can take it in the forward location, which is much, much easier for Terran to do their kind of big parade push on.
Right.
So it's much more or less of two evils than that's a very nice 4th base. I think I'll have that.
Right.
Which we see a lot more often in new maps.
Yeah, and I mean that's kind of the Dream Pool's message is you've got to change up everything you ever thought you knew about StarCraft because we're playing Wings of Liberty style maps with the obvious Heart of the Swarm meta. One thing that is happening a little bit, which is a little unfortunate, but CapitanMartu seems to have it covered, is he's throwing his Overlords in just to get a really good idea of what's going on, and he's getting supply blocked, and it's not too much of a pain, but it's like one of those little things, it's just a little bit of a hiccup. It's only a couple seconds here and there, but just one thing that has kind of actually given the position a little bit of favor to Canary. Just those few seconds here and there, kind of eventually might consolidate into a bit of a victory for Canary.
Yeah, well, it's all about StarCraft 2 is all about generally small leads and capitalizing on those tiny advantages, making them for yourself, and then making sure you drag them out to win. And Canary's doing that now with the mobility and splashdown as Hellions to first off drive away that queen, and then stop the Zerglings being able to engage. And he's actually he's not gonna go deep enough to kill that queen, which is a good decision, but he can come back for it.
Yeah, these defensive Bailings from CapitanMartu are going to get targeted down. Really well done from Canary. And if Canary micros these Hellions well, you can pretty much keep them alive forever off creep. Even with speed, you can get those 6 Hellions into a really good... there's 7, actually, into a really good speed. And he takes out 2 queens, a bunch of lings. Now, here's where I would, if I was Canary, I would get my Hellions back behind the mineral lines because... A, you can target down drones, and then B, you can actually funnel those lings into a lane really easily. So even though we lost a bunch of, 2 queens, countless lings, and some banelings, the drone count is really what you want to, put off. Because CapitanMartu loses minerals and some gas, whatever, I'll make a million lings and send them down your throat again. You got to go for the heart of the Zerg player. And I think Canary knows that, obviously. So, that's not the last we're going to see of the Hellion aggression.
Yeah, but of course, every pair of lings made is a lava that's not being spent on a drone, and minerals that's not being spent on a drone. And CapitanMartu had to make a lot of lings to fend that off. 38 lings have gone down so far this game, and then there's another 24 out on the map. So that's a lot of drones that CapitanMartu could have that he's been forced into not having to try and hold off this Hellion aggression. So,
right. One thing that we do see coming out of CapitanMartu though is he's got his Spire nearly done. Yeah, and there's only 8 Marines on the map.
Ooh. And is that engineer? Yeah, there's 2 engineering bays, so he can throw down turrets. And I think the Mutes are going to spend some time clearing up the Hellions and the Banshee first. But yeah, he's not looking good on the being able to move out on the map anytime soon.
Yeah. He is pushing along these Hellions, and he throws down a scan, clearing up some creep at the front here. Not really much that CapitanMartu really can send his way to deny this. This is a really big group of Hellions here, and not content with them making the customary 6, he's going to go ahead and make a bunch of them, and he's pushing here at the natural. Going to target down another queen, and he's going to be able to, they're all in a line, the Banelings and the Lings, so he's going to be able to micro these for almost an infinite amount of time, it seems.
Yeah, he's doing really, really well with all these Hellions. This is what I always hated about playing against Terran back in Wings of Liberties, and
it's back again, isn't it?
Canary's giving me nightmares, man.
Okay, so the stuff of nightmares. The mutas are going to pop out, but he is going to go to work on these drones. And how many drones is he going to be able to kill before the mutas are able to fully clean it up? When you pull drones, of course, they funnel in that nice little line that Hellions love to just chew up. He does eventually, he does manage to get rid of all the Hellions, and of course, gain a bit of a supply lead because Hellions do take up 2 supplies, so they are a bit of a supply buffer. And now Canary knows there are obviously mutas on the map. So the response is he's hitting out more Marines, Widow Mines, and his stem's almost done. One thing, though, is he is rather far behind in upgrades. He's almost got 1-1 done. Meanwhile, melee attacks and armor is almost 2-2 for Zerg.
Yeah, but he's 8 workers ahead, which is really nice to be ahead of workers in Zerg at ahead of workers against Zerg at this time in the game.
What is this alternate reality? I'm talking about how well the Zerg players doing, and you're coming back with how well the Terran players doing. I feel like we're selling our other races out, my friend.
Well, I mean, it's not like it's all in CapitanMartu's favor. Like, yeah, he's got a great upgrade advantage, but he's at a little bit of a supply deficit, and like the army counts are basically even, and Canary's got a pretty nice SCB lead. So CapitanMartu, I think, has to make these upgrades work for him. If he can get his mutas out and start harassing things and threatening, because 2/2 Lings are going to destroy Marines so well. But he's got to use them. He's got to use them before the Terran catches up and gets to 1/1, then gets to 2/2.
Right. I do think that it is worth noting that we're talking about, he's got to make a plan. He's got to make him work because he doesn't have the supply advantage. Well, it turns out, upgrades are the thing to have when that is the case. So if if he does have the favor, and you're talking about tough fourths, he does go ahead and take the one in the top left, which is pretty difficult to defend. What do you think about the decision?
I've never seen anybody take that as a fourth, but it's really, the thing I don't like about it is it's really, really close to this Terran third. So if the Terran, obviously they're going to have this as a great defensive location because they're third, they've got a bunker up there, they're going to have widow mines or whatever. So that makes it a great staging location for any pushes, and it's very, very fast to get to. There's no creep anywhere near it. There's no active creep tumors at all now. I don't think there are any creep sword queens actually.
Oh, and he stopped throwing down creep. The Hellions clean them all up.
So yeah, it doesn't look like there's basically ever going to be any creep at this hatchery at the minute, which makes it very, very difficult to engage up a ramp against Terran with no creep on.
And another Overlord is sniped by Canary and leading to another bit of a supply block for CapitanMartu, and of course he's got 5 Overlords popping out. But here's one thing, the Infestation Pit is going to go ahead and finish up rather shortly for CapitanMartu, meaning he's going to be able to get his +3 for armor and attacks on the way as quickly as he has the gas and minerals and the decision to do so. And it's turning into a bit of a mellow out. Both players have decided, okay, enough. I spotted your 888, and now it's looking like the defenses, at least in terms of Canary, he's happy with not having to defend any sort of muta harass up to this point. He's got Hellbats now morphing out of Hellions. He's got Widow Mines in his army. Marines now supported by Medivacs. So this is the army, of course, Terrans want to have when they're going to go ahead and make their big prey push onto creep and see if he can make things happen. So we'll see it if it comes down. He's going to catch a bunch of drones out here, but they did manage to turn around before. Canary, of course, almost at 200. So this is where the engagement's about to happen. A bunch of banelings morphing on the top of the natural ramp, I suppose that's what you'd call it. And we'll see really, what each player is going to be able to pull off here in terms of what their micro, because that's what it's going to come down to at this point. Yeah,
Blue Flames finished up Canary as well, which is going to help really well, and that upgrade. Yeah, the upgrade advantage has evened out a little bit. CapitanMartu is trying to do really... Oh, hang on, he's moving down that ramp, and
massive crashing everything.
Not great Widowmine hit so far. Good one on the mutas, but that doesn't matter too much for the fight. And there's a lot of Banelings here.
So many Banelings, Artosis.
So many Banelings. Oh, that's nothing. You should have seen earlier. They were like... Hyun versus, I think, Jaedong morphed up about 40 Banelings outside Jaedong's base. It's crazy.
If you're going to go lean Bane Muta... The golden army composition is to have about 90% Banes at the end of 200 army, and just Lings to come in and finish up anything else at the end that doesn't survive the initial Bane explosion.
Yeah, Banelings are so supply effective, and it's very painful for Terran in the late game when Zerg can just go Bane Muta. But oh my god, 3-3. I didn't think I'd ever see a Zerg start researching 3-3 before finishing.
Yeah, and we're gonna have cracklings out because not only is he getting 3-3, but he's getting that nice little adrenal glands, the 20%, the speed, as it were. As Canary comes up and he's gonna try and push this fourth, and it looks like he's gonna be getting it. It's a little out of position, and there's only Lings and Banelings to halt this. So if the splits are good, which on creep, he does manage to target on the fourth. Now the Banelings and the mutas come in. Good splits off creep, but he's probably not going to be able to split. How many Marines can you have versus this many Banelings? And the army is pretty much essentially completely destroyed, going heavily in favor of CapitanMartu.
Yeah, he should be able to hold with this Planted Fortress, but actually the mutas don't care about the Planted Fortress. And there's not enough Marines to hold them off, so they can just target this down.
Ooh, he is going to pull back.
He's going to back off, though. Doesn't really want to face up against those Marines. Yeah, there's only +1 attack on those mutas, so they die very, very quickly to the Marines, even at 2-2.
Yeah, I think CapitanMartu at this point understands the position he's at in the game, and even though he lost that hatchery, it's not really going to affect him so much at this point. You know, he's going to get it up relatively quickly as soon as he invests the minerals. He does have a decent, you know, gas and minerals bank, and he does have a decent larva count as well. 5, it could be better, but you know, he's obviously going to be able to get to that massive Ultra Zerg comp in the end because he's getting Ultralisk Cavern decently soon here. And he's also researching burrows, so you know maybe some burrow banelings here and there, just to complete his army at the end.
Yeah, I'd love to see some burrow banelings. We saw some fantastic burrow baneling play from Scala over on Prime earlier, and that was fungal as well. That is the perfect thing to complement your ultras because ultras are a little bit slower than lings and banes, and if you get a lot heavy marauder count in a Terran army, then they can kite ultras all day, and ultras are pretty weak to marauders. So, this Marine's going to trade for 2 banelings. Very nice.
Yeah, not about it. I mean, anytime you can get anything like that, it's not advantage. This game is actually kind of, you know, left and right. And now we're at like basically a purely macro TVZ game. And if you think about it, there's a drop going down here at the third. There are spores and spine crawlers to hopefully clean it up a little bit, but maybe these Marines can come in and do some damage as the Ling reinforcements come back to sweep it up. So not really getting as much done. Look at the upgrades paying such good dividends for CapitanMartu in these engagements.
Yeah, this is what it's going to look like in Legacy of the Void when the Infestors have that spell that makes Zerg units deal +5 damage.
Oh god, don't. I'm content with HOTS right now. I'm just gonna, you know, be okay with thinking about that for a little bit before I have to deal with a whole new, whole new life of. He's gonna leave that medevac alone while he pulls back.
Yeah, a little Hellbat hit squad as well coming in. I think they're just going to target down the hatchery. A few of them are going to go for drones though, but a lot of Lings coming in, and the Hellbats are going to trade okay. I mean, they don't kill a lot of Lings on red health. A couple more hits, I think, and they would have traded cost effectively. But as it is, they get cleaned up.
Yeah, I mean, it's at this point, it's kind of just a minerals for minerals, so you're not too worried about it. 3-3 is about to complete for Canary, and is also getting +2 weapons attack for vehicles. At this point, you know, we haven't actually, I just want to talk about this for a little bit. We haven't seen like a long macro bio versus Lean Bay Muta game in this season for the most part at all. Like, this is pretty much the first one that's going to look like this that we've seen. So I'm actually super excited. And it's just funny that Canary was able to take it into this, as we do have an attack coming down here. Lots of banelings, lots of mutas. But he's just going to get a little tiny bit pushed back. You know, it's kind of hit a bit of a stalemate as we have another push from Canary coming down here at the third.
Yeah, I think Canary is going to absolutely kill this third. He's going to focus it down very, very quickly. And with CapitanMartu's whole army moving over there, or almost his whole army, there's a Elenian skeleton force at the 4th base. It's possible that Canary could make a little push up there.
Yeah, instead he kind of leaves his whole force and boosts out of the medevacs. Of course, you know, if he'd been able to pick up all of his units and come back, that would have been the key. But now he's going to go ahead and hit that attack that you predicted, rightfully so. Great call. He's going to go ahead and target down that 4th. And this is where it becomes an issue for Zerg, because you're mining out your 1st and your 2nd, you know, your main and your natural, and then now you've got to deal with these multi-pronged attacks, and it's like you've got the mobility to deal with this, but the creep spread is actually not as good as it needs to be, and maybe that would have given him a little bit more mobility to be able to come on either side and, you know, and to stave off an attack from his expansions.
Yeah, creep spread is most important when you're playing Ling Bane Muta versus Terran, and the creep spread never made it over to that 4th base. Canary never, CapitanMartu never rebuilt those creep spread queens, and that's really hurting him now because he's taking a new 4th base or a new 3rd base even in that forward position, and I mean that's going to connect up just about with creep. But it's not
look at CapitanMartu's minerals. Like, he's got 28 minerals right now. Like, what's he mining out of? You know, he's got long distance mining, but you know his main's mined out. His natural's gone. Now engagement's coming out. He has to make this work.
Yeah, this has got to be his last push, and it's been a pretty good one so far, but there's still Marines left over. There's very little on the ground left for CapitanMartu, only Mutalisks, and I think Canary holds this, and CapitanMartu has nothing to follow it up. GG. Very well played by Canary.